Hi.
Hello. Hello, my good friends.
Howdy, partners.
Welcome to the stream. G'day, Snapple.
How the frick
How
are
you?
you? Schnippity snap. Please come back. How you all doing?
Hey,
Welcome to the stream.
I'm looking at Pav's the writing behind him.
Yeah,
the Oceanic
I was
Gaming
just
Radio
about to say,
is
like it?
it's
Oh.
backwards.
Oh,
Wait, what? Is it backwards on your side as well?
Yeah, because it's mirrored. I think it's mirrored.
Because it's the preview. In the actual recording, it'll be fine. Oh, that's
It's pretty cool, that Pav.
Thank you.
that's good.
I love it, mate. I love it.
I think we're going to pretty much just dive straight into it tonight, guys. I hope you guys
Get
are
into
okay
it.
with that. I think we just fucking get in there, son. You know, get in there.
Yeah.
I know Schnapp's around, but yeah, we're gonna get this podcast going. So strap yourselves in, enjoy the ride. We've got a fair few things to talk about tonight, and we'll get stuck straight into it, shall we?
Let's get it.
We'll see you in the post show.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm recording. It does its own countdown.
Count
yeah, I
me
can see
down,
it.
baby.
I will also do our intro music. is it?
Will ya?
There it is.
G'day and welcome. I thought I had my mic off for a second there. I was like, oh shit. G'day and welcome to Oceanic Gaming Radio, your one-stop shop for all things gaming and whatnot. I'm Captain Perth, one of your hosts with the most, and alongside me is the wonderful Timothy, Grizzly Gaming 86. How are you, brother?
I am fantastic, Cap. What about yourself, mate? How are you going?
Yeah, bloody excellent, mate. Really good. You know,
Living the
Monday.
dream today?
Yeah, well, I mean, respectively, I suppose, within the constructs of what's possible in my life. I mean, living the dream would probably be sitting out on a fucking yacht off the Bahamas, but that's not going to happen, is
Cap,
it?
I've just noticed, mate, now I'm actually looking at you. Is that, dude, you are losing weight.
Yeah,
That
I know.
shirt looks, is that like a new shirt or what, mate?
No, actually, so the other day, right, I had these shirts that I got for work, polos, and they were 2XLs, and I've never been able to fit into them ever since I got them through work. And I put them on the other day, and they fit like a fucking dream. So I'm definitely losing some weight. I'm definitely bulking as well.
Losing the
You know?
kg. Are you weighing yourself? Like, are you tracking
Look,
your
not
actual-
really. My weight's been kind of all over the shop, but I've lost like about 20, just over 20 kilos. So
Well, I guess it's
since I
different, man.
started.
When you're weight training as well, like you actually end up gaining quite a little bit of body mass as well because you're building that muscle.
Yeah,
too,
absolutely.
right?
And the thing is, probably the best thing to do is to measurements, like tape measures,
Yeah, totally.
around
Measurements
waists and
and
stuff like that.
pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you can see, like, I mean, I can definitely notice it. Like, I've never felt this strong, probably in my life. So, like, it's
Dude,
kind of
you're
nice.
lifting some pretty big numbers there, mate.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
no, it's
no
good.
joke, man.
Even my PT's like, dude, you're fucking out of control. Like, moving up really quick. But the thing is, like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't just go in there and just pick the bit heaviest thing I possibly can, because you don't really get the same amount of results from that kind of stuff. I've started quite low with my weights and slowly worked up, and now it's kind of get to that point where I can start pushing some fairly significant weight. I mean, it's not out of control. It's nothing major, but definitely good weights in
I actually,
my opinion.
So as you know, Cap, I've just moved house, and obviously, if you're watching on the Twitch TV stream, you will notice that I'm in a new stream room. I'm in a brand new house. I've moved, but I noticed, man, in the move, my ability to carry heavy objects was significantly better.
Yeah,
like things that I knew were really heavy, and like even with like I think like with form of lifting heavy things as well. So like
absolutely.
Straight back, and you know how like when you deadlift and you do that, I found myself like doing that with things as I'm picking them up and just like really holding my body straight, and it's made a big difference for me too.
It's really good for you when you are implementing that stuff in your day to day, because it's probably your day to day that you're more likely to do any damage, just from like not picking things up properly or whatever else. But dude, you're so right, because even like the other day, I was bringing in stuff from the car, and I had like a thing of like a 10-pack of like soda cans just in my hand, and just holding that for ages. And I was walking around at the front trying to do shit, and then I was just like, had a brief thought in my head, and I was like, if I was like 8 months ago, I wouldn't have been able to hold this for that long. You know what I mean? Like just little things like that you don't really think about. Or even like 100%. I was doing the blower vac out the back, and just did the whole lot, and I was like, oh cool, done. Whereas I was like, if this was 8 months ago, I would have been in absolute struggle town. I would have needed a nap for 2 days. It would have been fucked. Yeah, it's crazy, man. So crazy. But and Grizz, I understand, mate, that you're not feeling too well today.
Nah, well, oh man, like I had a huge weekend between the moving, and I did some painting, and then I went and got the COVID jab on Sunday morning, and then I went and painted like half a house. And at the end of that day, I just felt like cooked out of town. I didn't know whether it was the COVID booster hitting me or whether it was just
Oh,
fatigue
probably
from
was, dude.
painting all that. Probably a bit of both. But I went to work today and I got in and I said to my boss because I was feeling real average. And I said, I think it's because of the COVID booster. And he goes, how are you feeling? And I was like, it was weird, man. When I parked up at the train station this morning,
Yeah.
dude, I went to get out of my car and I didn't put the handbrake on. And my car started rolling
no.
back. As I was getting out of it, I was just like completely like out of the fucking zone, man. 100%. Just
Yeah.
like, it's hard to explain. I felt like I was outside of my own body. But yeah, I came home, man. I came home from work early today and hopped into bed and just got like an hour kind of thing. And feeling pretty good right now. I think kind of
Yeah.
over the hits you for like, I don't know, man. I got hit by the second COVID jab, and it lasted for about 2 days, I reckon. But yeah, similar kind of time frame for this one.
Yeah, I had my booster a little while back, and dude, next day I was schnackered out of 10. I got up, I went to bed the night of getting it at about 7 o'clock, which is ridiculous for me. I was just like, I am fucked. I'm going to bed, and then like literally just like conk, like asleep, and then the next day I woke up and I was just like, yeah, I feel a bit avo, but thankfully it was a work from home day, and I was like, oh well, I'm working from home, I'll be right. So kept working, and then by the time I got to about 11:30, 12 o'clock, I was just unable to function, and I just couldn't do anything. And this like fever hit me like a freight train, just straight on. And I had to go and have a nap, and I was like having like the night sweats during the day, and it was like 40 degrees outside as well. It was horrific, mate. It was the worst, but got there in the end. Go and get your boosters, guys. Anyways, Grizzly, we've got a shitload of stuff to talk about today. We just probably the biggest one that I want to chat about real quickly before we dive into the gaming news is we are going to be looking at doing weekly podcasts from now on. We're going to try and stick to a schedule, get these pumped out as often as we possibly can. So get excited for that. We're going to be sticking to around about an hour's length, and we're going to be trying to squeeze everything within that rather than doing what we did the week before with the funky sort of splice in the middle. So we think
split section.
The old splitteroo. But I think this will be much better going forward. So let us know what you think.
It means the content's fresh, Cap, isn't it? So
exactly.
we're talking about the Nintendo Direct, and then it was not 2 weeks down the track that we're talking about the Nintendo Direct.
Well, that's the thing, because we're going to be talking about that today, and it's going to be the first topic off the rank. But obviously that Nintendo Direct happened a little while ago, and probably most people listening have probably had their fair share of this stuff if they get stuck into the podcast. But at least you know that going forward, we're going to be doing sort of weekly news. So get that in you, all right?
I hope you got your backpack on today, Cap, because I'm going to need you to carry my ass through this podcast. I have been pretty busy, so Captain carries on this one.
Piece of piss, mate. Well, look, let's fucking dive straight in, mate. So Nintendo Direct. That was the 10th of February, I believe. So, yeah, look, like I said, 11 days ago.
Yeah,
so it wasn't too long after we posted our last one.
I think that I keep up with the news pretty well, but I did a bit of research today, and there's stuff in there that I had no idea got released at Nintendo Direct. So I'm sure that there's people that are listening to this that are the same. So we can tell you those little tidbits, hype you up, get you into it.
Well, look, I'm going to sort of cover the what I would say is the highlights. But if you've got anything to chime in with, Grizzo, if I can do so. But the first one I'm going to go with is Fire Emblem Warriors. You ever played Fire Emblem before, Grizzo?
Dude, I played like the Fire Emblem that I think was on SNES back in the day. It's like a JRPG, isn't it? Like an RPG.
Yeah, tactical JRPG, kind of in a similar vein to something like Final Fantasy Tactics, if you've ever played something like that. Yeah, the whole idea is kind of you have like archetypes.
Are in Smash and stuff, aren't they?
Yes.
Ark and a few others. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a Nintendo IP, so yeah, they definitely leverage that pretty hard. But yeah, I mean, the whole kind of premise of these games was usually like you'd have different warriors, and they have a different kind of like overarching kind of type. So I think it was like swords, javelins, axes, and archers, and like each one had like a strength and weakness that they were, against other
Cool.
types. So,
Hmm.
and then they, go out on a board style thing, and everyone exists on a different space, and they can move different spaces, and so it's kind of like a game. It's almost like chess, you know what I mean? Like it's that kind of
Ooh,
thing.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But so this one, nothing like that. Nothing like it.
Right,
So
gotcha.
this one's a bit more like you ever played Dynasty Warriors or Dynasty Warriors?
Yeah. That was sick. That's where you're like running through and there's like a big battle and you can just chop people and mow them down.
Yeah.
Right? Is that,
you kind of play
the
like
one?
like a hero character that kind of just runs in and just chops the battlefield up and
Very satisfying.
So I think the whole idea is going to be the next Fire Emblem game's a little bit more like that. I think they call it Warriors style because I think that was one of the first games that kind of did it like a Warriors kind of game. But I'm assuming that it's going to have all the classic kind of Fire Emblem tropes and the romances and all that kind of shit going on because it goes very heavily into that like Japanese anime kind of I don't know thing. Just that kind of vibe. That's the kind of vibe you're going to get. All right, if you like that shit, you're going to fucking get it here. So yeah, that looks pretty interesting. I don't think it's for me, but I'm sure I'll probably watch a little bit of gameplay and. I don't know. Maybe it will be for me. Who knows? But
be amazing.
Yeah. So that apparently releasing on June 24th. Okay, so there you go. Get that one in if you like it. Right. And then Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. You ever played that game before, Grizzo?
No, never heard of Advanced Wars.
No.
Tell me
So
about it.
this is a remake of the Advanced Wars games. Now, I believe they were on the Game Boy Advance, and that's what they called Advanced Wars. Let me just double check that. Oh, God, why can't I find it? I think it is.
Does some of this stuff, Cap, does some of this stuff relate to one of our other subjects we're going to be covering later today about a particular shop closing and to recycle games through their system? Yeah,
absolutely. So look, Advanced Wars, yes, it did come out on Game Boy Advance. I assumed that was the case. So the original game is kind of like a strategy game. Kind of battles happening on a grid style map, and you have different units that kind of go up against each other. And the whole thing was whenever you got into a battle, the screen would kind of like part in the middle, and you'd have both of the enemy sort of units on each side, and they'd have like a little mini battle on the screen. And look, I played it very briefly as a kid, and it wasn't my copy. I was playing it on a mate's Game Boy. So I can't really remember it too much, but a lot of people are super fucking excited for this. But the interesting thing is, so it's a full remake of the first two games, which I believe it's going to be a full price game. So you'll get games 1 and 2 remade onto the Switch, and the new graphics look pretty fucking mint. I think they do a pretty good job of maintaining that retro style kind of, well, not retro style, but like the nostalgia that you get from that game. So I think that looks pretty interesting. That one's coming out on April 8th. Classical tactical turn-based action.
Tell you what, man, Nintendo are doing a very good job at leveraging off this like previous game releases and remastering bits and pieces and driving their income off nostalgia, I feel like.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, dude. I mean, think about it, right? 100%. Like, at the end of the day, like, guys like you and me brought up on these games, and now we have enough money to go and buy all the shit that Nintendo puts out, and every time they shovel the fucking dirt out, I'm there fucking with my mouth open, ready to go. Just straight in here. Thank you very much. So, I don't know. I think ultimately...
line and sinker with those Pokemon games, mate.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he keeps buying them. Well, I mean, the new Arceus one's pretty good, but yeah. So, anyways, Advance Wars, I can get it in here. Now the next one, Grizzo, No Man's Sky is coming to Switch. Does that blow your fucking mind?
Is it going to be shit?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know what the graphic fidelity is going to look like.
Yeah.
Right? Because that game is pretty, intensive on the old GPU. So it makes me wonder what they're going to forego with a Switch version, right?
Surely. Well, I don't know, man. Like that, I feel like that game was reasonably well optimized for the PC, and I feel like it wasn't. I need to look up the minimum specs to run it, but maybe that will be a case of. We talked about this last week though, and you were saying The Witcher is dog shit on Switch.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. It's Garbo.
Dark
Like, you know,
Souls
when you
1,
load up The Witcher and you start and you kind of like looking at this hill and then you see the tree and there's people hanging in the tree.
yeah.
There's people in the tree look like a couple of fucking Minecraft characters. Like a couple of like
Minecraft
polygons
Witcher
hanging in the
crossover,
tree. Yeah,
look,
Witcher 3
look,
Minecraft edition.
do you feel like No Man's Sky's going to run decently? Is it well optimized enough to have that switch across?
I don't know. Do you know what I think? I think if anyone can put enough time and effort into this game these days, I think the guys at Hello Games, i.e. the developers of No Man's Sky, I think they have shown that they're committed enough to their property to get it working and get it up to scratch. So, hey, maybe it might. I know that I've seen the trailer for the Nintendo Switch. It does look a little bit sort of de-resed. I don't know. It definitely, there's been a bit of a graphical hit in there. But I mean, obviously that's going to happen. I mean, the Switch isn't a supercomputer. So I don't know. We'll find out.
It is a perfect Switch game, though.
Oh,
in terms of,
dude, absolutely. Like, think about sitting in bed and just be cruising around the galaxy at night just before you're going to have a bit of a sleepy. You know, it's a gorgeous game. And this, I mean, the amount of, I mean, they've just announced another DLC for it. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw that in your show notes. Was that part of the Nintendo Direct?
No, this was separate. And it looks like these guys are showing no signs of stopping. Really, they've got more shit that they want to do with that game, which is nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
I just want to reminisce for a second, guys. Cap and I were running a joint Twitch channel for a while called Cream of the Crow Up, and we actually jumped into No Man's Sky and put it on like a reasonably hard difficulty. I can't remember what it was, survival.
It was fucking horrible. It was fucking shit.
Over again.
I think we just kind of lucked out with a shitty planet because it was like acid planet, and you couldn't do anything. You'd just be slowly dying from acid poisoning. So, yeah. But look, the new DLC that's coming out. I don't know whether it's going to be coming out around at the same time as this. It's like a sentinel, so you get like a walking companion, like a big mech robot thing that I think you can also get in and drive, which is pretty cool. So if you're into I don't know, Evangelion or some shit, you're probably going to enjoy this game. So
you're gonna love it, mate. Yeah,
have a bit of a squeeze. But yeah, so interesting. Good to see the No Man's Sky devs just being absolute fucking legends.
The amount that they have like continually developed and given that game love to bring it from the ashes, what was the release of that game, is a real testament to that studio.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Like, to be able to break through that. You know, obviously when it released, it was a bit of a mess. You know, if you've never played No Man's Sky, it's a space kind of exploration game. And you kind of hop around all these different planets and, you know, investigate and explore them, and you can name shit, and, you know, every planet's different, and you know two planets. Yeah, exactly. The entire universe is procedurally generated. So, for them to have come back from the insane amount of criticism that game got after being so overly hyped is just really impressive to me. But yeah, good on it. Hello Games. Hello Games. Hello. So
what else you got? What else you got for me, Cap?
Yeah, so moving along, mate. Mario Strikers Battle League. Now, you know what this is?
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever played it, man, but I have seen the artwork before, and I remember really liking it because it's actually quite a lot darker, and I don't know, the characters.
It's a bit broody.
It's a bit broody, and like Mario actually looks angry in it and stuff.
Well, for those at home, Grizzo, give us a bit of an idea of what the actual game is.
Oh, well, it is a soccer game, Cap. It is a Mario soccer game, which was first released a long time ago. Cap, you might have to correct me on this, but was it?
Look, I think it might have been on the GameCube originally.
GameCube, yeah, something like that. Long time ago. But it had a real diehard fan base behind it.
Oh,
the people that played it absolutely loved it, and it was a great IP. And it's good to see that it's kind of seen the light of day once again.
Well,
But
I'm surprised that it even did get put out into the light of day again, to be honest.
100%. Nintendo were focusing on golf and
Yeah.
tennis and their other sporting IPs over strikers.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's going to be good. I'm excited. If there's some, I don't know if there is, but if there's some kind of like online versus mode, some kind of like PvP,
yeah,
mechanics,
there will be. Yeah, so I believe the whole idea is that you can start clubs and stuff up, and you'll have like mates that you can jump into clubs with. And then fight other clubs. So it's almost like a guild system. And then you can kind of do PvP, I guess, with those other guilds and do games against them. And but yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. I think the whole idea. I think this is the thing I like about Nintendo's approach to sports games, because I don't really enjoy playing sports games at all. They're definitely for some people, but they're absolutely not my cup of tea. So if you can cram it full of like power ups and just wacky art and just interesting shit, that's what gets me interested.
I think Nintendo do a really good job of that, like the golf and the tennis. I mean, I'm kind of the same, Cap. Even like racing games, golf, tennis games. I've never got into the Tiger Woods or PGA or any of those golf games. Sporting games are just not my thing. I'm much more of a fantasy buff, but I do really kind of like, like you say, the artsy take, a bit over the top and zany on sporting games is I think it's great.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks interesting. It's kind of basically Mario plus FIFA, but probably, in my opinion, much more interesting. So, keep an eye out for that. That's June 10. Moving along, so they announced a game mode for Splatoon 3, which is coming out, I believe, this summer, which will be this winter for us, I guess, so mid-year. Anyways, this is like a PvE, like wave-based kind of thing for Splatoon. Splatoon's
it's not the PvP.
Well, I mean, that'll be in the game, but this has been announced as a game mode. So Splatoon's kind of like if you haven't seen the game before at home, it's like a paintball kind of game where you paint the map you're on to try and vie for the most control of painted map, and your characters, like these little squid characters that can zip in and out of all the different paint and kind of swim through it, and use it to maneuver around the map. So it's got an interesting kind of take on the shooting genre, where you're kind of vying for map control through physically controlling the map through painting it. And then you can obviously use your own paint to maneuver through the map quickly and do that kind of stuff. But yeah, so this mode that they've announced, I believe it might have been in Splatoon 2. It's basically a wave-based kind of thing. So kind of think, I don't know, like COD Zombies kind of thing, where you've got these constant streams of enemies coming in. You've got a couple of bosses that show up. I guess you're getting upgrades and shit per wave. So it could be pretty cool. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. So
couch co-op game there, I reckon, Kappa.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. We could get around that. So that's that one. And Grizz, you ever play Chrono Cross? You probably play. I know you would have played Chrono Trigger, surely.
Yeah, I played Chrono Trigger. I don't think I ever played Chrono Cross. Is there a remake? Is there a Chrono Cross remake?
So Chrono Cross, yes, it originally came out. I think it came out on PlayStation. I'm going to double check that. Chrono Cross. Or maybe it was
PlayStation 1.
Yeah, PlayStation 1. So it was basically like a more 3D version. Well, it was literally a 3D kind of. That was the next step. That's basically Chrono Trigger 2, essentially. Obviously, very different
soundtrack. Cap, very good. Like the Chrono Trigger soundtrack.
Chrono Trigger's soundtrack was fucking amazing, and Chrono Cross apparently is no different. I never played Chrono Cross, so I'm very excited to give this a bit of a crack. I believe that it's kind of like a high definition kind of remake, 3D models. Everything's been kind of sorted out, ready to go for Switch. Now, apparently it's got over 40 different playable characters, Grizzo. Now, I'm pretty sure Chrono Trigger had about 7, maybe, that you could add, or 8, or maybe a little bit more than that, but that you could add to your party as the game progressed. So I mean, 40 different playable characters in a JRPG context is pretty cool. I'm not too sure how
Imagine it kind
unique they
of
are.
works the way Chrono Trigger works, where depending who you have in your party, you can do like different super moves and
Yeah,
combination
which
attacks and stuff.
yeah, and
So
also
that,
affects the storyline as well, which is cool. I would assume. Again, I don't know. I've never played it, so but I mean, obviously, people are super fucking excited for this because very beloved franchise. But the cool thing is, Grizz, there it's called the Radical Dreamers Edition, and so this Switch remake's actually coming out with a side game that's a text adventure for this particular game that came out, I think, only in Japan, maybe.
okay.
So that's getting a full translation, I guess, and coming out as well. I might be talking absolute shit about that. So if I am, and you're listening at home, and you're like, "Hang on a second, you fucking idiot," no, that's not correct. Tell us in the comments
Let us know.
and let me
Yeah,
know.
please.
Fucking teach me the
In the
lesson.
chat. Yeah.
So there's that, and Grizzo, we've also got Portal coming to Switch as well. Both games,
What?
I believe, 1 and 2.
That's
The
a game that I've
companion
been meaning
collection.
to play for years, mate. I still haven't touched Portal. Pandy's
What?
swaps. Yeah, I have never played Portal. Pandy reckons
Oh my
it's like one
God.
of the greatest games of all time, mate.
Oh, dude, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Just the way that so Portal is like a well, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it, but you literally have a gun that shoots portals, and you use those portals to sort of go through a 3D puzzle environment. But dude, yeah, that's a real. I can't believe you haven't played that. It's a classic,
Yeah.
absolute classic,
Should
and
get
it's
onto it.
great
Is it on Steam?
characterization.
I think it's on Steam,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. It
Yeah.
was produced
Yeah.
by Valve originally.
That's right.
So it's a Valve IP, but so yeah, local online and split screen multiplayer available in this bad boy. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. So that'll give you a chance to give that a crack finally, Grizzo.
Yes, keen, mate. Now you're playing with you.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Now we've also got Nintendo Switch Sports, Grizz. How excited are you about this?
This was one of the ones that I had as something that if you weren't going to cover, I was going to bring up. Because, Cap, like, cast your mind back to when Wii was released with the Wii Sports. It was actually quite a large event in gaming for a number of reasons. It was the first time I feel like a console had shown off motion controls and what you can really do with it. And because of that fact, things like Wii Sports was being put into old people homes to get, old timers up and moving and doing their thing and having a bit of fun, into schools for people to increase their ability. And it was quite like a bit of this, like gaming became a little bit more mainstream, a little bit more
absolutely.
Like,
but you know what? The Wii was also relatively cheap as well.
Yeah.
So it was easy for people to onboard, I think, rather than buying a PS. The PS3 was insanely expensive back in the day. I remember like I think they're like $1,000 Aussie, which for back then that's I don't know what that is with inflation, but that's a significant amount of cash. But I can't remember what the Wii was worth, but it was bugger all.
I'm a bit curious, Cap. Why didn't they release a Switch Sports earlier? Like I feel like it was a staple of the Wii, and it's coming out now, which is great. Do you think it's going to have the impact that?
I don't think it will. I really don't think it will. And the reason I think that is because I think we've moved away from the motion control stuff, and it was kind of gimmicky. And Wii Sports really managed to leverage that gimmick. But also, Wii Sports sort of came out with the release of Wii, so I think there's been too much time since.
I'm interested to hear your take on this, Cap, and I'll ask you first, and then I'll give you my answer. Do you think motion controls, any type, like physically moving the controller in a certain way, will ever have a place in console gaming? And I'm not talking about VR. I'm talking about console gaming. Do you think it will ever be the preferred way to play a game?
Look, I don't think so. I really don't. I maybe. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. Like I was playing. Okay, so we'll get to this later. I played Horizon recently, and I wasn't having massive issues, but just like with the bow aiming, just trying to hit certain parts on monsters and shit. I was like, oh, maybe if I turned on the motion, it might just help me get those little tweaks happening. And my brain just couldn't do it. I'd either only use the motion or I'd only use the thumbstick, not a combination of both. So I don't know. Maybe it might be that thing where you kind of slowly integrate the two. But I mean, for me, being the boomer that I am, I don't think it's going to really work for me. I mean, I tell you what, though, I liked it in Breath of the Wild.
Did you? See, I was about to say I fucking hated it in Breath of the Wild.
I liked it.
Pretty harsh. I wasn't a big fan of it in Breath of the Wild, but I also felt the time when I was playing Breath of the Wild, I'd be like on the train or on the bus. I don't want to be like swinging my hand. I don't want to be like.
Well, yeah, true. Everyone's like, oh my god, I'll sit next to that guy on the bloody bus.
Yeah, I think it probably depends where you are and what you're doing, but. Yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's the first thing I check and turn off when I notice it in the game.
I mean, for me, gaming is about leisure, and I don't really want to be expending too much energy. In fact, I'm probably trying to avoid that. So I don't know. I can't really see it being a massive thing, but yeah. So I don't know. Nintendo Esports, it's coming out with Chambara, which I don't know what the fuck that is. I watched the
that's the drummer one. That's the drummer.
Oh, it is. You're right. It is. Yeah. So it's like a drum game. So you can do that. Coming out with tennis and bowling games alongside newcomers soccer, badminton, and volleyball. And I believe they're going to be releasing new sports later on as time progresses, including golf and stuff. So that's another thing, Chris. It's kind of
Cap. I've got a funny story regarding regarding Wii Sports. And it was probably maybe my 4th or 5th date ever with my wife. Yeah. I told you this or not?
I have, but the listeners haven't heard it.
We were playing volleyball, Wii volleyball, and you gotta like dig it and spike it and stuff. Anyway, Mrs. Grizz was standing right next to me, and I was getting ready for her to return the ball to me, and she has absolutely spiked the controller into the side of my head, like as hard as she possibly could. Literally put me on the floor.
Serious?
And I had like an egg on my head. And the whack on it was just like, it was like a real clack. So
what a day.
Be careful when you're playing Switch Sports, all right? Make sure you put the safety straps on.
You really learn how people feel about you when you're playing that kind of shit.
That's it.
But yeah, okay. So, anyways, it looks like they'll be releasing other sports and shit. I don't know if I'm talking shit, but I think there might have been an option to play some of these sports modes in like a battle royale setting. I might be talking absolute crap.
Yes.
Which could be cool. And maybe I just made that up. If I did, I'm sorry. But yeah, maybe not. So yeah, there's that. Pretty interesting. Now, Grizzo, Mario Kart 9.
Oh yeah.
Not confirmed. Absolutely not confirmed. But instead, we're going to bring out, how many was it? 6 waves of 8 courses. So 48 new courses added to Mario Kart Deluxe 8. So I mean, a lot of people are hanging out for Mario Kart 9.
Yeah.
Absolutely hanging out.
Rightly so. Right.
Well, absolutely. I mean, they haven't had a mainline Mario Kart game since 8, which came out originally on the WiiU, I think.
It's a pretty good deal though, Kat. So correct me if I'm wrong.
I agree.
From what I've heard. Yes, I think you can pay $25 for access to the ongoing release of these, or it can be bundled up as part of that Switch subscription model that they've introduced as well.
Maybe not. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure you have to pay entirely for the booster course pass, which I'm reading now, which will give you access to 6 waves of 8 courses, which will finish being fully released in 2023. So I'm guessing that you'll get a wave of courses every couple of months or something like that. So I don't think that you get the booster pass as like something associated with like, in fact, I'm pretty sure the best part oh my god, that is so why okay. The best part is that if you have the recently released hang on. Okay, I think you're right, actually. Sorry.
Yeah.
The best part is that if you have the recently released Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pass bundle, you won't have to pay an extra cent to get any of them.
Which is their new one.
My bad.
Which I think is a bit spenny. I can't remember what it is. It's quite expensive, but it's quite it might be worth it now, potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, you're getting these bloody shitty bloody emulated Nintendo 64 experiences, where Ocarina of Time looks like a pile of shit. I mean, it's an old game, but
coming, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think it looks interesting. They're obviously putting in a lot of nostalgic courses that people will be already familiar with. So I'm guessing that for me, looking at this outside inward, having no idea what's going on with the development of the next Mario Kart title, is that they pretty much think that game is a very far way off.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
because I don't know why you'd release something this extensive, and have another Mario Kart game coming out next year, for example.
They must have just had all these courses in the back pocket. They've just gone, well,
yeah,
let's put these out.
It makes me wonder, and we might be talking about this later on. I hope we'll get to it, but maybe they're avoiding crunch for the next Mario Kart game. And maybe we won't see it till 2025, for example, just as a rough date. I'm going to chuck that out there into the wilderness. And so they've gone, okay, well, let's push out these courses that we've remastered, and we'll kind of do that as a show of faith and get people playing Mario Kart again, because they're not going to be playing a new Mario Kart game for a while. What do you reckon?
I reckon you're on the money, mate. Absolutely.
That's why they call me on the money, Capo, mate.
At least drips and drabs of content. So just to keep the
that's the new way to go, mate. That's how people do it these days. Dribs and drabs. Look at fucking World of Warcraft, mate. More fucking dribs
Destiny
than drabs. Well, yeah.
Man.
Absolutely. Now, the last sort of major announcement that I'm kind of aware of, unless you've got extras, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Grizzly Gaming 86.
Xenoblade. Okay, never played any of those games, Cap, so nope. I'm going in pretty blind into that.
Well,
one,
the Xenoblade games generally, they're kind of like they're JRPGs, very anime heavy. The original game kind of had you play this character called, can't remember his name, blonde-haired guy. He's in Smash Brothers. He basically a bit of a like a King Arthur story, pulls the sword from the stone, has to go and destroy these these weird robots that are kind of trying to invade his lands, and off he goes to go and figure out what's going on. Dude, but it's all kind of like technological and stuff. Are you looking at a thing?
I'm just looking at some images, and maybe I did play this on one of the old PlayStations. Was this on like PS2 or something back in the day?
No, so I believe Xenoblade Chronicles 1 came out on maybe Wii. And it was a little bit weird because
Nintendo titles, have they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah. So I believe Xenoblade is a Nintendo property. But yeah, I believe the first one was Wii, and the second one came out on Switch. I think, pretty sure it did. Early Switch title. And now 3 has been announced, obviously. And I believe that this game will connect Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. Now, I played through most of 1, didn't really mesh with 2. I just didn't find the characters as compelling as the original game. So I'll probably do what I did for Horizon and watch like a 3-hour movie of stitched fucking video together, which worked pretty well for my Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I think I'm glad I did that for Horizon. I'll get into that later, but yeah, it's just a good way to catch up with storyline, because I'm such a storyline guy, Grizzo. I am. I love story.
You are, mate. You love it. Me, not so much. Actually, it depends on the story, whether it really captures me, because I mean, Ori and the Blind Forest, I was literally bawling my eyes out.
Oh, dude,
the first
what a game. Yeah. I remember, like, there's probably clips of me on Twitch, like, literally having a cry with the little owl and something happens to it. You're like,
So there's 3 items here that I wanted to talk about, Capo, as the Nintendo Direct. I'll keep it pretty quick. But the first one is, and the one that's close to my heart, so the Cuphead DLC was given a date, which is the Delicious Last Course, which is the DLC to the main game. So that'll be coming out 30th of June 2022.
Oh,
so there was a little release trailer for that. I was speedrunning that for a bit on stream, and it's just so good, man. The artwork, the sound design, like just the gameplay in general, being able to play same screen co-op, it's just a really fun
Now,
game.
you know there's a Netflix show.
I don't quite. Yeah, have you watched that yet?
No.
I responded to someone on Twitter today.
I heard it was a bit boring.
Quite good, eh?
I heard it was okay, but just a bit safe. Like, it just wasn't interesting. Super interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Right.
You know, obviously, like, the game kind of has the gameplay to carry it, but when it's just an animation, it's kind of like, oh, okay, this is nice, kind of thing. You know, that's what I've heard. I haven't watched it.
Very old school. It's like the original Mickey Mouse kind of style of, but kind of modernized,
which is rad.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
I'll provide a review next time.
That's on the Fleeks.
The second one I want to talk about, Cap, that I think is going to be a bit of a topic as we move on into the Horizon stuff, but there was a free Metroid update shipped immediately as they announced it in the Nintendo Direct, and essentially I see it as an accessibility update. So they introduced a rookie mode, which is much easier playthrough of the game, and they also introduced a dread mode, which is essentially a hitless one hit and you're dead. So there's now 3 different difficulty scales for the game, and maybe we'll talk about it when we get down to Horizon bits and pieces. But I do feel like developers in general, whether they're retrofitting these to existing games or creating games as they come on, they're having a lot more thought about the accessibility of games, and being able to provide that experience to a broader range of people. I know that there was not a heap of stigma, but a lot of people didn't play Dread because of how hard it was. It was some of the apparently the last boss fight is like a grind, man. If you haven't got all the shit, you will get clapped there for like hours, basically. Yeah.
I've heard the same thing. I mean, apparently the game's very good.
I want to get your opinion on this, mate.
Yeah.
Have you played Dread yet? Or no?
No, I haven't, but I really want to give it a crack.
I haven't.
It was just one of those games I didn't get to. I can't remember what else I was playing, or if something else came out around about the same time. But it looks really good. Apparently, it's pretty short though, Grizzo. Because I think the intention of the game is that you play it multiple times. Yeah, I think you kind of play it multiple times. Not that it has different ending, or maybe it does. I can't quite remember, but I believe it's a fairly short game, and the idea is it's kind of like, I mean, you know, people back in the day when you played games like Metroid, you play those games over and over again, dude. I can't tell you how many times I fucking played Ocarina of Time from start to finish. So I don't know. It's kind of got that kind of nostalgia again, I think. But yeah, very interesting. No, sorry. What else did you?
I will definitely check it out. It's on this. All right, dude. Okay, Cap. There was no Silk Song announcement. Did that surprise you at all?
Yes, it did. Because I don't know. I can't remember when they said that they were planning on releasing that game, but maybe they're looking at a delay. I don't know. I'm very excited for that game because I think Hollow Knight is a fucking masterpiece, and also got to look after your boys. Bloody Adelaide freaking development team, mate. Come on, get around it. But
so for those of you that don't know, Hollow Knight, Cap, is a I would say, what's it called? What's the word?
I'd say it's a
Metroidvania,
Souls-like Metroidvania.
Yeah.
You know, kind of got similar kind of
team.
construction.
Very popular.
Yeah. Brilliant art style, kind of like almost like what's that? Is it Tim Burton? Nightmare Before Christmas or some shit. Kind of got that kind of vibe, but like Bugs, but more kind of like artistic and drawn. Just an awesome fucking game. Really, really well thought out structure. You know.
Have you seen what Pav's typed? Crying intensified. Pav, our lovely producer, who we haven't actually shouted out yet, but shout outs to Pav in the back, doing God's work. Pav, is a huge Hollow Knight fan. Pav, did you end up completely 120%ing the game or whatever the thing is? Did you end up doing that?
Oh, I think I 112% finished it. I've got 2 speedrun achievements left. I'm still working.
Wow. A man of culture, I see.
I love that game. Top my favorite game of all time.
Yeah. Did you? What was it called? Steel mode or something?
Steel. That's the Deathless. I've done that one as well.
Really?
There's 100% achieve 100% Steel Soul achievement as well. Which is going to be a struggle as well. But I'm excited.
So,
That
Pat,
is
just
nuts.
before you go again, how disappointed are you that there was no Silk Song announcement?
Look, I find it hard to be disappointed because I had no expectation. They've not given us a date at all. They've kept their kept the very quiet on release dates and any
I agree.
progress. So I wasn't really expecting it. Had a few hopes up and not disappointed. Just I should have got my hopes up. I should have known better.
It's not angry. It's just disappointed.
Well, maybe
exactly.
we're going to get to this in the discussion, Cap, around the crunch piece. But I kind of feel like sometimes if there's no announcement, that maybe that is a sign that they're taking their time with the development of the game.
I
to
think
make sure they give us a good product.
Look, I think more and more, like a lot of smaller development studios are being run by devs who have been in the industry or kind of know what it's like to be a dev and working under pretty harsh conditions and having to pump shit out real quickly. So I think people are a bit more compassionate towards just, ensuring that people have some kind of work-life balance. Maybe there might be, like most jobs, like there might be some busy periods and stuff, but some of the shit that I've heard about, certain development studios doing, like I think Naughty Dog and some others, doing like 70-hour work weeks and shit like that, just absolutely get reamed. Like, so look, yeah, I'm excited for it, but like Pav, I think I wasn't too aware of a release date announced or anything. So yeah, I'll play it when it comes out, and I'll fucking enjoy that shit.
Hell yeah, baby. Yep.
But Grizz, we better keep fucking moving, mate, because we've got a lot of other shit in here. Okay, so look, I think we're gonna go straight into talking about Horizon. I think, Grizzo, because we've already been talking for a fair many minutes about Nintendo Direct, and we had 5 topics in here, and we've gotten through 1. Classic.
Mate, we've got enough content for the next episode, mate. Yeah. We're all good.
The pre-show, Pam was like, "You got 5 topics in here, guys. Do you reckon you're going to be okay to get through that in about an hour?" And we're like, "Yeah, mate, fucking watch us." Next minute, fucking almost 50 minutes in, we've only done 1 topic. Anyways, so Horizon Forbidden West released on Friday. It is a what do you call those kind of an action adventure game with a lead heroine, a lead protagonist. It takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity's kind of going through another kind of tribalistic age after humanity was wiped out. And there's all these machines that are, look like animals in the world, and there's all kinds of weird and wonderful things going on, and weird technologies that persisted through the loss of the initial sort of humanity. And it's if you played Horizon Zero Dawn, a lot of people really enjoyed that game. It's made by a company called Guerrilla Games. I played the first game. I thought it was quite good. I think the only thing that I didn't really enjoy with the first one is I found the combat to be a little bit clunky, especially when it came to the melee. It just felt a little bit heavy, a little bit janky. And I think also the first one that I think the side quest content was quite contrived and just seemed a little bit shoehorned in. It was just a little bit boring. But I got to tell you, Grizzo, I think most of those things have been fixed in this new game. I think
feel
it's
like
a ripper.
The framework of the game for the original Horizon was there, right? It just wasn't quite delivered to probably what was anticipated. But
I think they did. I think they did a good job. It was a brand new IP. And I think that they executed it fairly well for being a new IP. It's really hard to get people on board with new IPs these days, So I think they did a pretty good job with that. But I think the new game, Forbidden West, it is graphically fucking gorgeous.
Is it? What is the water graphics like, Cap? I haven't played this yet, by the way.
Amazing.
Guys,
really, really, really cool. Dude, I still haven't gotten to like the beach area, because I know there's like a beach area and kind of like these amazing kind of estuaries and stuff that you can go and look at. But dude, just the the geographical kind of expanses that you see, and you go up these towers and look out into the valleys and stuff, and it is just, mate, it is fucking gorgeous.
Is it?
And
Yeah.
I'm just playing it on the performance mode for PS5. I tried both the performance mode and the what's the other one, the resolution mode or something.
Yeah.
I thought the resolution mode chugged a little bit and I didn't like the feeling of that, so I just went back to performance.
Did you? Yeah.
And mate, it plays as at a smooth fucking 60 FPS or whatever it is.
Ooh,
And it is
delicious.
crisp. Very, very good game. I think the only thing that I hate about it is the fact it's coming out so close to Elden Ring. Because I will probably have to.
What?
Yeah,
that's the reason why I haven't picked it up, because
Yeah.
I would have had. I have had limited time to game at the moment anyway. But
Yeah.
when Elden Ring comes, I'm buying it and I'll play it. I will definitely go back and play Horizon, 100%. But it's probably after I've had my time with Elden Ring.
Look, just to give you a bit of an idea of, I wrote a bunch of notes whilst I was playing it, just to give you sort of an idea of some of the things that I think has improved. One big thing that I hated with the original game was the scanning. Now, you would scan things, and then you could kind of see roughly what you needed to do to kind of work against some of the machines, like what elements and stuff they were weak to and stuff like that. But it was a little bit limited. And then if you wanted any more in-depth information, you then had to open up the notebook manually and find the machine that you're looking for and fuck around like that and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, they fixed all that, in my opinion. It's easier to kind of scoot through the list of components that these machines have. Just for those at home, if you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn, the kind of combat is these machines have these machine parts on them. And the whole idea is that you try to remove those machine parts with your arrows and your attacks. And, you know, certain parts and machines are weak to certain elemental damage like fire and acid and all these other bits and pieces. So by scanning, you can kind of learn more about the machine, what its weaknesses and strengths are, which parts of its body are detachable. So it's kind of got a Monster Hunter kind of vibe there. But so I think, yeah. Anyways, going back to the scanning, I think it's really good. The fact that you can kind of see all the parts and scroll through them and tag things, really, really fucking awesome. I think another cool thing is they've also made it so when you scan, you can see grapple points and climbing parts for walls, which was a little bit difficult to see in the first one, which made climbing difficult. But I will say, the climbing is fucking janky as shit in this game. I hate it.
So out of the reviews I saw, that was a lot of the missing points.
Yeah.
Do you wish they had like a freeform climbing and
No, I don't actually. No. I think that freeform climbing would open the game up too much, and I think that restriction kind of makes you. It kind of adds depth to the game in the sense that you're restricted to certain paths. And you can't just climb up walls and go to certain areas. So it makes you think a bit more tactically about the things you want to do, how you want to travel. And I think it also enables you to have some more meaningful interactions with the environment rather than, Legend of Zelda just climbing up a fucking, negative 90-degree rock face that, you're jankily fucking cheesing up. So, yeah.
Question though, Cap, does the limiting climbing spots make the game feel more linear, or do you still think there's enough? No, okay.
I think maybe a little bit because, like, generally, you'll go to a point of interest, and the way to get to the thing that's in the point of interest is you have to climb, but they're pretty good about giving you multiple options for climbing up a rock face and stuff like that. So, you'll come to parts where you can either go left or right, or maybe there's one left way and the right way goes off and forks into 2 or 3 different things. So I think they do a pretty good job of making it still feel like you have options. It's not just one direct, like an Assassin's Creed straight up this tower.
Like God of War, dude. Like, I mean, that game is a story game, right? And it's pretty linear in your progress through the game. But there is literally one path that you take when you're climbing things, and that's where you're kind of going to.
Yeah. Now, I think one thing that makes this game shine for me, now, again, if you are going to play this game, it does a pretty good job of onboarding you storyline-wise of what happened in the last game. If you played the first one, I highly recommend going and watching a good YouTube video of a catch-up kind of here's what happened in the first game. You will get that in this game as well. It does a pretty good job of it, but I'm very glad that I put the time into because I never finished Horizon, so I checked out what happened in the end, all that kind of shit, and I'm glad I caught up.
So the story flows on, Cap, does it?
The story flows on directly.
Okay.
It takes place pretty much straight after the events of the last game.
Does it give you a recap in the game, kind of?
Yes.
Like a little bit of
okay. It does. So it starts off with a bit of a recap. You sort of find out what's going on, why Aloy's going on a new quest, and why she's going to the place that she's sort of heading towards. Now, again, I think this game does a really good job of onboarding you, but I actually think the story in this game is way more compelling, and I think that they pull off the environment and the storyline way better than the first game, because I just the first game was good, but it just felt a little bit stale with how they kind of introduced the tribal kind of cultures and stuff like that. But with this one, I really feel like the characters are very they're really well done. They're really well characterized.
There's a lot more
stuff.
supporting characters that are alongside Aloy for the journey, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Well,
yep, absolutely. And that's another thing is all these characters, dude, when you get into conversations with them, I have never been so impressed with facial animation technology.
Really?
It's insane.
Absolutely
insane.
Dude,
yeah.
Man, we're getting to an age now, and maybe it's the age of my PC, but dude, the PlayStation 5 is a workhorse.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mate, for sure.
We were always those. What are we called? Cap PC gamers. The what do they call them? Elitists.
PC master races.
Yeah, PC master race. Yeah. Well, soon it's going to be these blokes that are like riding along on their consoles that are the elitists, and we'll be
absolutely. Well, mate. Look, PC will generally always be better until we finally make that change into the metaverse and everything is cloud processed and we don't even have a computer that lives at our home. We just have a Netflix subscription to some computer off in the middle of fucking wherever, and we just stream all our games. But until that day,
Cap, we're going to need a new government to redo our whole internet infrastructure for that to happen.
Yeah,
either that or Elon Musk just gets his satellites cranking.
Well, you saw what happened the other day with Mr. Musk with 40 satellites going down, didn't you? Geomagnetic storm.
He was saying that his internet was playing up around that time as well.
Yes, probably that. It was probably the electromagnetic storm that took down 40 fucking satellites. But yeah, so going back to this, the facial animation technology for Horizon Forbidden West is absolutely nuts, dude. Like it is so compelling to watch these people have conversations, and you don't have that stale kind of game model face as much. Some of the minor characters.
How's the voice acting?
Very good. Very good. Very, very good, actually.
Is it all voiced? Is all the dialogue voiced in the game?
Absolutely. You might get some text files that you have to read, but for the most part, you don't even have to read them if you don't want to. But yeah, the game is incredible. So that's really good. I think.
How was the technology in terms of like the haptic feedback and surround sound? Like
great,
they
do a good job of
someone's Twitch stream, and the audio design in it was fucking unreal. The noises and stuff that were coming out of the machines, and that was me getting the compressions through Twitch as well. So that's not really obviously when you plugged into the
it's amazing, dude. Absolutely amazing. Even they use the controller really well with like giving you resistance on the triggers for when you're pulling the bow back and stuff.
I love that, man. It's so
it
good.
Feels really cool. The new PlayStation controller really leverages those dynamic triggers really well. So, dude, look, overall, I think that they've done an incredible job with this game. I think for me, probably the biggest upgrade is the story and how well that they fleshed out these characters, and the side stories in this game compared to the first one are so much more meaningful and interesting. And you actually want to go do them. You don't feel like you're just ticking off something on your map. So they do a really good job in this game. I think they've definitely upped the ante immensely. Again, not perfect. Some of the game is fucking janky as shit. Like the climbing feels fucking garbo some of the times, and like you're trying to like get up onto a cliff, and like you can see the next handhold, but Aloy just won't go to it. You're like, what are you doing? Please move. So yeah, there's things that they can work on, but for the most part, mate, gorgeous game.
Good.
The story is brilliant. The combat feels better, in my opinion. They've done a really good job of expanding the weapon and perk system and like the character progression system with perks and
Yeah,
stuff.
that was one thing that I read. I actually just read some reviews today about it, but one thing I read, Cap, was that, and with at least, well, I guess I'm not really spoiling it, but if you chose to, say, for example, to skill into melee weapons, your playthrough is going to be quite different to the way that you approach your battles to someone that might skill into some other part of the tree as you're
Yeah,
moving through those areas. So
yeah,
everyone likes to play a different way. I usually like to play the sneaky, like stealthy, stabby.
yeah,
Whereas if my brother was to play that game, he would 100% be going the ranged bow build,
yeah.
and I think
Absolutely.
that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah, I mean the cool thing is like all the different like talent trees have different weapons that kind of are tied to those trees, but those different weapons generally are better at different things. So I don't know. I think they do a pretty good job of kind of promoting you to try different things out. But I will say one of the big trees to just go and fucking not max out, but go and pump a bunch of points in for me anyway is the stealth tree. Just it
Oh
makes the
yeah,
game
stealth
so much
tree is
better.
good.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, really fucking good. But yeah, look, overall, I think it's going to get a fucking big 9 Captain Perths for me
Whew,
out of 10.
nine
Easy.
Well, I did a little bit of research, Cap, and I'll have a quick chat. So Metacritic, mate, you were pretty very close. So the Metascore was 89 at the moment,
Yeah.
and the Metacritic, so public, is at 8.4, so 84. So that's
Yeah.
pretty dang high, pretty good,
Yeah,
pretty good.
I'm really enjoying it, dude. I think because I'm such a lore guy, I think they've done a really good job of really drawing me in with the story, so that it's definitely getting a lot of extra points now.
Yeah.
Because I just felt like the first game didn't quite do it for me, but now I'm kind of really into the setting and the story and just the way the characters, what they're doing in game. Look, I don't want to do any spoilers, obviously, so we'll refrain from that. But just the storyline is just so much fucking better in this game than the first one, in my opinion. It still builds on the first game and it uses that as a foundation, but
Yeah.
like just it's very very good, very good.
So, Cap, I want to talk a little bit, and I kind of mentioned this earlier that I wanted to talk about this, but accessibility in the New Horizon game is like next level. So
Yeah.
I'll talk about it now, and I'll just do a quick little scroll through the normal things like subtitles. You can go into and you can change the font, the size. There's 4 different difficulty settings, and then there's also a custom difficulty setting where you can actually tune the amount of damage that you take and deliver on enemies, and you can tune your difficulty setting that way. There's looting options, so you were talking about knocking certain parts off animals. There's a couple of quality life things that you can engage there. There's different strengths of aim assist. There is some audio ones, so if you have tinnitus, some of the noises that the machines are making can you can kind of soften the blow on that, so that people with some hearing impairments can better enjoy the game. And one that I found really interesting, Cap, is this co-pilot system. And me having young children, that is awesome. So essentially, what it is if one person's playing the game, you can have another person with a separate controller, and essentially you can take control. Say if you get to a boss fight and they can't pass it or just need help climbing up a certain ledge,
You just jump straight in.
rather than you go and take the controller off and getting them up there, you can basically use this co-pilot system to allow you to do it. So I think there was a lot of thought, and from what I read, there was actually a team that kind of looked into this accessibility part behind the game to allow it to reach a broader, really broaden the scope that can play it, and it's pretty clever, mate. Pretty clever.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I think stuff like this only is a boon to the overall game development space. I think especially that co-pilot thing, that sounds really freaking radical.
Yeah.
Like I like the idea of that a lot. I think just what you can do with games these days in terms of opening it to the wider audience and getting people on board is great. Obviously, not every game needs to be fully accessible, and that's obviously up to the developers and what kind of experience they're trying to craft. and whatever else. But I mean, hey, I mean, the more the merrier that we can get into games like this. I think it's and getting people playing these games, because I know we've spoken about this before, Grizz, but I feel like video games are such an untapped font of just incredible story and stuff like that, you know, and just
absolutely,
it just
mate.
blows my mind that some of these
Absolutely.
stories aren't being explored as. I mean, some of
Yeah.
them are obviously. Like I'm sure you probably saw that the Halo's just been announced as a
Yeah.
Paramount Plus
Yeah.
series. But
Dude,
yeah, just
when did BioShock get announced as being a Netflix movie?
it wasn't
Is that
super
a
long
while,
ago,
or?
but a little while ago. Yeah. I
Because
don't think
that
much.
story is insane.
Yeah,
Amazing.
absolutely. It'd be interesting to see who they cast in that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know
I
what kind of
hope it's
story
not
they're going to
shit,
tell.
because I feel like Netflix can go either way. Like
Yeah. Well, they're generally
their
pretty
kind of
good, and
work.
they've got enough money to really pump it. I suppose the problem is like how much money will they put into it?
Well, dude, there's
Because
going to be
it's
amazing CGI stuff, because it's all like underwater and
yeah.
like, stuff, isn't it? It's pretty nuts.
I mean, it could
isn't
be really cool. I mean, the coolest thing about Bioshock for me is just like that kind of 1950s ish
Oh,
era
so
kind of
creepy, dude.
architecture in the dark and like, you know, underwater. It's
Mm.
so freaking cool. It'll be interesting to see what they do for that. I think it's going to be really freaking rad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, look, if you Grizz, you gotta give Horizon Forbidden West a crack when you get
Yeah,
a chance, mate.
and like now I've settled into this house and I've kind of got a few things squared away. I think I'll actually probably going to start streaming, which is pretty cool. A couple of times
Nice.
a week, maybe. Pick
Yep.
that back up now. I've kind of settled in. I've
Well, you're
sorted my
busy
sleep out
Mondays,
and
mate,
bits
so
and
don't
pieces.
fucking lock that into
Busy
your schedule,
Mondays,
pal.
but I'm going to do some Elden Ring, Cap. I'm pretty keen to play some
The Elden Ring. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah. I took Friday off work.
Did you? Oh, you
Yeah.
bastard.
Yeah, so I'm ready
I've
to
got
go.
to paddle to Rottnest, mate. I've got to paddle 18 kilometers on Saturday.
Oh, dude.
Dude,
you
it's
bloody ding dong.
18 kilometers. Yeah.
Just chuck a sickie on Friday and play Elden Ring instead.
Just catch coronavirus, mate.
Yeah, just go and hang out at all the major pubs in the next few days, mate. You're sure to get it.
Sundays, Elden Ring, baby. Let's go.
Look, Grizz, I think we're probably pushing it a little bit with time, but I'd love to just really quickly smash together a little retrospective for Lost Ark. Really quickly.
Okay. Yep.
Just some
yep.
real fucking. All right. So quickly, tell us what it is.
Okay.
Explain it.
So,
and then I'll explain it. We'll see how close our explanations are.
Lost Ark is a amalgamation of an action RPG and an MMO in my mind. So it kind of looks and feels a little bit like Diablo, where you have set skills and a skill tree that's set in an MMO world. So when you're out in the wilderness, you will find people. It was released, I believe, what was it? It's been around for a while, Cap has it, but it was recently a free-to-play on Steam and released to the masses. I just want to say it has like a crazy following on Twitch. Like people are really getting into it and loving it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Look, I think it's definitely got I don't think it's got legs, but I think it's definitely got enough draw to keep those people who are interested in this kind of game very interested. We should probably mention that it's a free-to-play MMO, but there's a lot of shit you can buy in that game, and it seems like it's quite pay to win as well, which is kind of my MMOs. I like there to be a bit of reason to play them, not to just go and pay money to be the very best that no one ever was. So it kind of disappointed me a little bit when I kind of found out a little bit more about how much I could buy to get ahead in that game.
Can you?
But I will say,
that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on the specifics, but I was listening to another podcast just saying that the game is very pay to winny towards the end game. I mean, obviously there are things that you can get that are you have to earn. But there's a lot of stuff that you can sort of make that trickle a little bit easier. But look, I think for me, Grizz, I really enjoyed the combat. I really like the combat. I think the combat's really nice. It feels really good. It looks really nice. But the story is fucking garbage. It is shit. It is fucking pathetic. The voice acting is so fucking shit. It is horrific. And it just made me because the problem was I really felt like this game's going to start at the end game, but I don't want to play the mid game or the early game. So but I do like what they're doing with the combat. I think the combat feels really, really good, like really raw, and the abilities feel really fucking good. But fuck, mate, the storyline is just fucking garbage.
Cap, I feel the
Absolutely garbage.
exact same way. And actually, I thought to myself, like, I'm gonna stick this out and get to the end game, because that's where the game starts. And then I actually found myself thinking about that, going, why would I play something that I'm not like? I was just like skipping through all the quests, and then I was getting pissed off because I had to go and get some like roses for some chick, and I was just like, and I just like it would just the storyline and the quests just weren't. Maybe
Meshing.
if I was like younger and I had heaps of time to just sink into games.
And that's another thing, is I was thinking about this in the car, and I thought the same thing. I was like, if I had time to dump in this game, I think I'd probably be pretty stoked, but I just don't. Yeah. And I don't want to spend all that time to try and get to endgame, you know?
So Cap, I've done this again. I'm only going to do 2, and they're very quick reviews, but I've got 2 reviews here, and I want you to guess the score. These are from Metacritic. All right, first one, a feast of boring stories and simple quests, interface like a mobile game. The characters all look the same, so it's fatal not to be able to tell them apart. One thing that did piss me off was that I couldn't zoom into my character enough and like look around like WoW does. You can like look around and like, you know.
Yeah. Do you know another thing is, Grizz, is like going on to that, and I agree, but and obviously that comes down to like trying to like feel invested in your character, right? Because you want to see that character progress over time.
The character creation was fantastic. I don't know how long you spent, but I like tried to make it a mirror image of my wife, the red hair and like everything. And I was like, man, she looks good. She looks good.
Yeah. Like, but the problem is, Chris, like this is one of those. It's like it's a looter game, but I feel like you just never get any. Like all of the shit you get is just reskins of the same shit you're already wearing.
Well, that was one thing that pissed me off big time, Cap, is that like I was finding all this gear upgrades, clicking it on, but it didn't change the look of my character at all. So
and you're like, oh, did that have any,
go
like,
on? Yeah, exactly. I didn't have like that endorphin of like, oh fuck yeah, I've got this sweet.
Yeah, like, oh, look at those shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those.
Maybe that'll happen
shield.
later down.
Well, maybe, but again, Grizz, like I want to feel like that now. I don't want to wait. I don't want to put fucking 60 hours into this shit main campaign, and then be like, oh, okay, well here we are. But I don't know. Look, one thing I will say is I did the dungeons in that game, and I thought they were very fun. I thought the dungeons were very fun.
The bosses.
And if that's the kind of end game content you're going to be doing, I think I could see myself playing in that game, but I just don't have the time. I literally just don't have the time.
It has a user score cap of 4.4 out of 10.
That doesn't surprise me. Look, do you know what another thing is, dude? It is just this fucking like duct tape, nuts and bolts fucking game of menus and fucking weird systems as well. Like you're learning about all these weird systems that are going on, like building character rapport, like you would in like and it's just so useless. It's just like, why am I having to do this? But yeah, look, overall, I think the game like had a lot of potential for me, but I just think it failed so hard to keep me interested or wanting to get to the end game, which I assume is where the game begins.
It's a free to play. So if you have a PC and you have no games,
you can just go and pump that.
Just pirate something decent. Don't play fucking Lost Ark. Kidding.
Chris, we don't say that on this podcast.
We do not.
But yeah, all right, that's Lost Ark. Real quick fire round. Cyberpunk releases its 1.5 update, now available on next-gen consoles. Notable changes, Grizz. NPCs will now send you nudes.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, baby. Show me those pixelated titties. But so there you go.
That's great. I like that.
Yeah. So romance is more fleshed out, so you can do some cute things, you know, hang out in bed and just chill.
Cap, the big question, is this going to make you go and play the game?
Do you know what? I think I'm getting close to... I mean, I've got a copy of it. I installed it. I saw the reviews come out, and it was basically hot garbage. And I just went, I don't think I'm going to play this game.
Here's my take on it. I think if you reset your expectation of the game, because I think it was marketed as a groundbreaking, fucking amazing game that is going to like literally be
change
the
everything.
Best game, change everything, and it just isn't really that for me, you know. And I feel like The Witcher did that when that came out. That was like, whoa, this is fantastic. and
Yeah.
Cyberpunk didn't hit it. So I think if you reset your expectation of the game and go in thinking, I'm just going to give this a go, and go in as a fresh slate, maybe. But this
I
doesn't
think.
excite
I mean,
me, put it that way.
I can't see many people being able to reset that expectation because of how hyped this game was. I mean, this was the next like iteration of the No Man's Sky hype train, dude.
Yeah,
it was nuts,
yeah.
absolutely nuts. But yeah, well, I mean, you can play it on next generation consoles now, but since they've released the new update, PS4 owners of the game who use a disc to play the game can't play the game anymore because it broke the game. So there you go. So
well, I
you
wonder
can't
if this
get
will
nudes.
Is this something potentially capped that maybe PlayStation will look to put on their subscription based? I feel I just kind of I don't know. I feel
Tell you what, mate, if I fucking started a subscription model and my fucking draw card was Cyberpunk fucking 2077, I'd be fucking reevaluating all of my fucking business goals, mate. I'll tell you that much for free. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so that's now available. So go and fucking grab that. Nintendo plans to close its 3DS and Wii U stores. So if there's any games on there that you want to have on your relative console, either your Wii U or your 3DS, and you want to keep that on there forever, go and do it ASAP because those storefronts about to close down.
This is kind of what I mentioned to you before, Cap, but I feel like over time, Nintendo has slowly pulled off all of their successful, popular games off those earlier consoles that they're potentially no longer going to be supporting the store for and pushing them onto things like the Switch.
Of course they are. They're going to resell it. It's a fucking smart business decision because, like, these. Of course, you're going to go and rebuy them.
Yeah.
Right. You know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would rather play those things on my Switch than go and get my fucking crusty old Wii U out of the back shed and you know, peel off the films of moss and dirt off the fucking play button on my Wii U and charge her up. You know, I'd much rather have it on my Switch. And of course, they're going to charge you again for it.
Well, the issue is
you're going to buy it again, aren't you?
Half the games that come onto Switch, like the Nintendo 64 ones, play like dog shit. The Super Nintendo ones play like dog shit too. Like you could not play Kaizo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could not play Kaizo on Switch. There's no way.
Yeah. But I think the big thing for this is, and a lot of people are talking about it, is obviously it's a business decision. Keeping those storefronts up costs money, and of course they're going to drop them down. Makes a lot of sense from a business perspective, but the problem is people are complaining about game preservation. So there's about 1,000 titles or so between the two storefronts that will be inaccessible once those storefronts go down. Is this if
people own the digital copies of those games? They can no longer play
Well, some games are only available digitally on those storefronts. So the only way for you to play those games legally would be for you to get a copy through those storefronts. So, yeah, look, again, this is like a question of game preservation. But look, I mean, it's Nintendo. This is what they do. This is what a lot of businesses do. They want to save the spondoolies, baby, and they will do whatever they can to save them and make more money. And most people do that in their lives. Not everyone's a charity, unfortunately. I do think preservation of history and whatnot is important. And it would be nice if Nintendo was a little bit more conscious of that. But look... They're there to watch the dollars go ding, 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 ding.
That's it. It's wasting money having those stores sitting there open. They obviously have infrastructure and stuff, and probably someone's job to decode it when shit goes wrong and everything else. And
exactly right. And I mean, they obviously get to the point now where they're like, this is not worth the time anymore, and you know, we're not making any cash off it. So,
I mean, I'm sure there's metrics that sit behind this cap where they look at how many units they've sold on those consoles, and you know, there's a financial decision there that it's just not worth their buck to keep them going too.
Absolutely, mate. So, so like I said, if there's anything on there that you want to preserve, make sure you do so before they go down. I don't know when they go down. I'll let you fucking research that. Finally, Elden Ring this Friday, Grizz.
Oh my God, man.
The Elden Ring!
I don't know if I have ever been this excited in anticipation for a game.
Yeah. I know. I'm kind of like, now we've just been talking about Cyberpunk, and now I'm just like, shit, don't be shit.
Like everything that I hear about, like I saw, and this is not spoilery, but like people that have played the beta and stuff like that for Elden Ring, have like nothing but good things to say about the game and how excited they are for the full release.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I think it's going to be good. It's From Software, a real solid developer, and the fact that they've had George R.R. Martin collaborate on the story, I think it's going to be really fucking cool. I'm so fucking ready. And next Monday, we'll have a bit of a review for you ready to go.
Yeah.
So,
man, I'm going to have very
be aware
limited
of that.
time to play it, but I'll try my best.
Yeah, even if you just load it up and do the first area or something, and then we can have a bit of a chat about some of the outstanding stuff. But just quickly, PC system requirements, the minimum system requirements, absolute minimum. Dude, 12 gig of RAM. Minimum.
It's fucking insane, man. Since I run 16 gigs in this, and like I'm so glad I've got a PlayStation 5.
Absolutely. I was thinking the exact same thing.
I would not be able to stream and run this game at the same time. It just wouldn't happen.
No way. No, me neither.
What is it, dude? What's so RAM hungry? Is the open worldiness? Is it like?
Oh, dude, I'm not too sure. I think they've definitely pumped up a lot of the textures and stuff in these games as time's gone along. I think you know, this is just reality. Time moves on, and you need to keep your PC topsy turvy, mate.
Yeah, I need to upgrade RAM. You need a new PC, Cap. You need a new PC
I do.
Too.
Yeah, if anyone knows anyone selling a brand new PC for fuck all money with hell good stats, let me know. But yeah, so anyways, guys, I think that's pretty much it for us. We've gone well and truly over the time, but enjoy this longer episode of Ogre. You can probably expect them to be a little bit more less bite-sized than usual than this one going forward, since we had kind of 2 weeks to kind of compress into 1 week. So this one's going to be a little bit bigger than usual, but we're going to be moving into our weekly recording schedule. Every Monday, you can find us here on twitch.tv/ Oceanic Gaming Radio, all one word. You can find us on Twitter. Look up Oceanic Gaming Radio. You can find us on the streets. You can find us if you look real hard. Probably just Google
in your show notes. If you're listening to this in whatever way, get in the show notes, click on that link, and come say good day. Pav, did you change your shirt? No? Okay.
I swear you did. You did, didn't you? Now you're lying to us.
You did. Were you naked with the camera off, mate, or what? No, you've just gone and got dressed. What's happened?
All right. Anyways, we're going to wrap this one up, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Make sure you go and interact with us on all the socials. Leave us a comment. If we said anything stupid, let us know. Anything wrong, we'll correct it on the next episode, maybe. We'll see you next time, Grizzo. As always, a pleasure. Pavlich, we love you, baby.
Love you.
And we'll be here next Monday and releasing as a podcast sometime after that.
Hell yeah. Catch you later, legends. You're muted, Pav, by the way.
He's not anymore.
Oh, he's unmuted now. Beauty.
There
G'day, Twitchers.
Solid episode.
G'day,
guys.
Twitchosphere. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Deb, fucking good to see you, you gorgeous thing. Schnappo,
G'day, Deb.
22 past 3, Mr. Sexy Legs himself. God, it's good to see some familiar faces in here. Thanks for supporting us, guys. Oh, Ho and Honey.
Ho and Honey.
And Olfin.
Yep.
Oh, g'day, legend. Snippo. I don't know if you guys are still out there, but thanks for hanging out. Nibby. G'day, mate. Welcome on in. How you doing?
Was Nibra in there? I didn't see Nibra.
Well, this person's called.
Oh, yeah. There's Nibra.
That is
How
Nibs.
are you, mate?
The old Nibbler.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a name change.
Well, brand change. Love to see it.
Brand change. Excuse me.
How the streams, Nips?
But yeah. That was quite the episode. I know it went a bit longer than anticipated.
How long was the total? How long was the
we
total length?
Didn't do too bad. I think we hit our we went just over our max allotted time. So I think it was like 123.
Yeah,
which is all good.
Yeah, guys in chat, what if you guys were going to listen to a podcast? How long do you want that podcast to be? If you're going to listen to it in the background, because I love listening to long podcasts because I'll just put that on at work and I'll fucking just let it go. Probably almost won't even listen to most of it, but I just like having that background noise, especially like a nostalgic kind of voice that I can listen to. But what are your guys' consumption habits? I guess like with a podcast medium. Do you prefer something a bit more bite-sized, or do you not mind too much at all?
I think personally, my opinion's changing on this. I think I previously was pretty sold on like a 45 to an hour, but now I have started listening to the podcast like while at work in the background, like similar to how you're saying you're doing. I was like, you know what, a longer isn't that bad, I think.
Yeah.
Has anyone in the chat listened to the other episodes? Have you guys been listening to any of the podcasts to date? Y'all snottum dorsh. Well,
dorsh.
Longer the better. There you go.
Yeah, I definitely feel. I think it also depends on the topic of the podcast, and the style of it. Obviously, because this is a bit of a free form kind of just banter sesh. I don't know. I mean, for me, I think longer works well for us, Grizz, and we always fucking go over time. Let's be honest,
mate. We do spend quite a while talking about just like at the start bantering shit, but
yeah,
I think that's also good. No, I think it's good. I like that. Well, often Cap, this is I haven't had a good chat with you for a while, so this has been like a bit of a catch up, mate. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely a good opportunity to catch up with you, and I don't know. I think the other thing is like I don't stream anymore, so it kind of gives me a bit of an opportunity to talk about what I've been up to, and maybe some of the people that I used to hang out with on Twitch kind of get a bit of an idea of what's been happening in my life, because I'm pretty quiet on Discord and everything else these days. So I don't really get that opportunity to talk to people as much as I used to, which is sad, but unfortunately, that's just what happens in life, I guess.
That's what happens when you grow up, Capo.
Oh, mate, I fucking refuse. But also, I think my upload completed, by the way, Pav, just so you know.
Looks good on my end.
Oh, mine did too, actually. Yep. Mine did too. This is good. We could do this a little after Yarn till the upload finishes.
I think actually last time the thing that caused the issue was that Cap's video dropped out, and I think it was that.
That would make a lot of sense. Yeah, because we had the drop in the middle, that would make a lot of sense. It would have fucked things up.
I was just thinking that during the podcast. That might have been.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you guys, but my computer basically just randomly restarts if I open Chrome at all. Even if I open it and close it, then eventually my computer will just restart, or the RAM will just go out of control. I don't know what it's doing.
Wow.
I don't understand. But if I use Microsoft Edge, it's fine, which I hate the idea of having to use, but I am now using it actively on my PC. So I don't know. I probably need to do a what do you call it? When you reinstall Windows,
factory reset.
I had an ad blocker causing all sorts of mayhem for me. And
really?
Getting rid of it. Yeah. I had it was like uBlock or something, and then I got rid of it and it fixed it up. Yeah.
I've got uBlock Origin.
Do you?
But that's the only one that works properly or does anything.
Yeah, I haven't got a current ad blocker right now.
Dude,
so I got to get.
Do you know what I found today? Is one of the guys at work was saying that some ad blockers actually get paid by ad companies to let their ads through.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Twitch has done that, honestly, because you can't block Twitch ads, can you? I don't think it's a way.
No,
you can block Twitch
well,
ads.
I think they've done something really funky with inserting the ads into the actual video stream. So it's almost impossible for you to detect when the ad's playing, because it used to be like a piece of code would basically start the ad up, and you could see when that code was starting and stopping, and so then you could kind of remove it. Whereas now it's actually inserted into the video stream. So it's like as if it's one continuous part of video. So there's no way for you to know how to do that. So I don't know. Crazy. Shit's fucked. Shit's fucked, man.
Bloody crazy, mate.
But yeah. Look, I think...
do we have any suggestions for the title of tonight's podcast?
I was thinking... Elden Ring on the horizon.
I like it.
Because Horizon came out last week.
Yeah.
And Elden Ring's on the horizon.
And Elden Ring is literally on the horizon.
That's very true. Okay, yeah, I like that. That's good. I like that. Any other?
Oh,
Any
thanks,
other
Deb. You fucking legend. Could listen to you guys for hours, no joke. Oh, dude, legend. That's the kind of shit we want to hear. Hey, g'day, Moosey.
G'day,
Don't worry, mate.
See?
It'll be on the fucking podcast, in a platform near you, when we get around to
Moose
sorting it out.
Dog.
Um,
I need to get 32 gigs of RAM, man. I need to do that. That's something I got to.
yeah,
gotta
look,
do.
my next PC, I'm going to aim for either a 3070 Ti or a 3080, 32 gigs minimum. Probably either, I'm not too sure whether I want to go Intel or Ryzen yet, but probably a Ryzen 9 or an i9.
Yeah.
And yeah, just all the other shit that you usually get. So I want it to be a big beef dog millionaire.
Dude, the recommended graphics card cap for Elden Ring was a 1070 as well. It's getting up
1070.
there. Yeah, for the recommended.
I got a
specs.
1080 Ti, dude. That's fucked up.
Yeah, and that would be like running the game at medium settings, I would imagine.
That's so fucked up. I hate that. I remember when I built my PC, dude, and the 1080 Ti was the freaking powerhouse, dude.
Yeah.
When people found out I had, they're like, God damn, man. 1080 Ti, you must be fucking rich. And I was like, no, I'm poor now.
Yeah, dude, I got a 28. What are you running a 3080 or something, Pav? You always have good gear.
No, I'm the same. I haven't updated my computer in about 4 years, so I'm running the 1080 Ti as well, which I was similar to Cap. It was like the
I got
creme de la creme at the time, but not so much anymore.
Super, just before they all shot up in price.
Oh yeah,
I got it for under $100. It's about $800 or $900 or something.
Well, that's the other thing,
Fucking
dude.
expensive
like,
now.
Everything's so expensive at the moment. So expensive. Though I think obviously stock levels are slowly starting to increase. And I think a lot of countries are actually like, what's the word? They're outlawing like Bitcoin mining and stuff. So there's a bit more stock around the world. But yeah, I've been watching PLE and just seeing their stocks here and there, and they've got stuff.
Dude,
but I'm kind of waiting for the next.
Pre-builds are the way to go. I don't know how you're going to do it, but
I'm actually thinking pre-builds.
Dude, there's some fantastic deals. I linked one to you the other day, which was a 3080. It was like a Ryzen CPU that's better than mine. Only 16 gigs of RAM though, but it was like the price of what you would pay for just the 3080 with a complete,
which is
rig.
nuts. Which is really nuts. I suppose anything you want to check is make sure the motherboard isn't a complete pile of fucking dog shit, and make sure that it's got enough ports and stuff on it. Like, especially want to make sure that things have USB-C ports on them these days.
Holy shit! Yeah. So, by the way, I'm using a converter on my Logi cam. The only issue with it is that I don't get 60 frames on it. Yeah. I only get 30 frames on it. Yeah. Using the converter.
Yeah, I've actually gone back to using my C920. 22 or something. I don't know. Well, I'm using that. And when I get my next PC, I'll go back to the old stream, the better stream cam. But yeah, for now it's fine. It does a trick. Whatever. I don't give a shit. It's fine.
Yeah, do it.
But yeah,
Moosey, are you here, mate? How are you, brother? Haven't seen you. We're gonna have some beer. I'm gonna have a housewarming, boys, and have a bunch of beers in the pool. I've got a pool table. Got a pool table. Got a pool. It's fucking.
What I'm hearing is a live podcast recording.
Yeah, we totally
in the pool.
In the pool.
From the pool.
Not too sure about that.
At least it'll be cool.
Hot tub stream, baby.
Oh yeah,
that'll
be fucking rad.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
Yeah, I've been thinking about you, Moosey. I keep meaning to message you. Just one of those things where fucking everything in my life is just fucking nuts at the moment. So
Cap doesn't care about you anymore, Moosey.
Yeah, I actually don't care about anything anymore. I've fucking given up on everything. I got hell grim. I'm just here for the games, man. Okay? I'm a gamer. I'm a freaking gamer.
It's busy. Fucking hell.
It is. It is, dude.
Yep.
Moosey, come and do a gym session with me.
Moosey's the machine.
Come and fucking punch some weights for me and Pav.
I'm back next week to the gym.
Next
week.
Okay. I'll hold you to it.
Yeah, I've got asked to do an extra quiz night this week, which is on Wednesday. So I was like, okay. That's in my last couple of
Are you going to
weeks.
go to this traffic light party, Pav? And
I'm hosting the Mario Kart competition.
Yeah, I fucking hope he's
Oh.
going, mate.
Are you going to be wearing green, mate, or what?
Always.
Yeah. Nice.
Forever. That's a plan.
Oh my freaking god!
Are you going to come down and play some Mario Kart?
What day is
When
it?
is
This
it?
weekend?
It's this Friday.
No,
Absolutely
dude.
not, dude. It's Elden
My
Ring.
week-
Oh,
Are you
my
kidding me?
weekend
It's
is
Elden
You
Ring.
freaking
It's
idiots!
Elden Ring.
What a stupid day to have a party.
Elden Ring, yeah, true.
Play it
True,
play
true,
it there.
true.
I'll put it on put it on the PlayStation.
No way. I don't want
I
anyone
might stream
interrupting
on-
me.
Can you? Is there a TV at the bar? Can you put my stream on at the bar, Pav, if I stream it or what?
Maybe not for this time, but I think that's something we can.
Shit bloke.
Dude, he's got the connections, but he's not willing to use them, you know?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I just don't think we can do it this time. We'll be using all the TVs this week, but for another event, I'll definitely be streaming.
Hell
Definitely.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, the cool thing is, like these Mario, what is it? Mario Party or Mario Kart?
We're doing a Mario Kart tournament.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, dude, that'll
That's
be
great.
fucking. Are you playing 8 or what?
They
Or different ones.
usually do 8. They usually do
Yeah.
8. Yeah, deluxe.
It'll be pretty cool now that they've got all the extra freaking tracks coming.
Yeah. Is that?
I mean,
out?
I don't
Is
know
that
if
out?
any
I don't-
released yet, but
Yeah.
I mean, future ones would be pretty. Because they've done this a couple of times, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's freaking radical, brother.
Radical.
Well, look, I'm gonna log off and go and play some Horizon before I go to bed.
I'm knackered, man. I'm so tired.
Yeah,
I can see you
just
yawning
heard
in the
that.
podcast.
Yeah. I'm a bit fucked. I'm like booster
Nah,
shot.
it's understandable, man. You just moved house and you had a booster.
I'm glad my camera was off.
Yeah,
was-
but
was
I
struggling for a bit.
I couldn't agree more, dude. I am busy. I even took the day off work. I got the day off work for Elden Ring. I actually booked it in November because like the guys at work were like, "Did you seriously take the day off work?" And I was like, "Yeah, I booked it in fucking November."
Hell good.
Was ready to go, and that was actually kind of a bit of a roll of the dice because sometimes games are like, "Yeah, sorry guys, we're gonna have to delay the release of the game." And then you're like, "Fuck, I booked time off work." This time I did book time off work, but they didn't because they're fucking mad lads. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go and play Horizon.
Boys and girls.
Twitchers, thanks so much for hanging out. Appreciate your freaking legends. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream and the cast. And yeah, expect this basically every Monday, unless we say otherwise on Twitter because something's come up. But yeah, we'll probably generally look at trying to reschedule those ones. But Mondays,
Mondays.
the day.
baby.
And if
Okay.
you're not on the Twitter, get on the Twitter.
yeah,
Have we
Get
got a
on the
links
Twitter.
thing?
Where is my?
Get on the Twitter.
I had one.
don't know.
There it is.
The
There's one
Elden
I prepared
Ring.
earlier.
Nice, Pav.
Also, we've
Oh,
got.
should we find? You got someone? Got
Oh,
someone, Pav?
I don't have a raid target. I was just
Dude,
gonna say.
I don't know anyone on fucking Twitch.
Nerds
anymore.
of the West are streaming right now.
Yeah,
Oh
playing
yeah.
Cuphead.
Oh yeah. Oh Lush.
Cuphead.
Oh Lush is on. Yeah. Either. I'm happy.
I feel
I'm
like
happy
Nerds is
with
a similar
it.
vein of the channel,
Yeah,
eh?
let's-
They
Oh
do
yeah,
variety
actually, I
shit.
think you're right. And WA. Also, Lush doesn't need it. He's got 120 viewers in there.
Jesus, killing the pig.
Yeah, he is. He's literally killing pigs. It's,
Animal.
Peter would not be happy. Peter.
See you, Ollie. Good to see you, Ollie. You fucking legend.
Yeah, take it easy, Ulf. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, guys, get in the raid. Come raid with me. How do I copy that bad boy? Nerds of the West.
What are we raiding with? Legends?
We could just do the Elden Ring is on the horizon. I don't know. We could do that. We could do something podcast related. Better hurry up because we're about halfway through the raid timer.
Fuck it.
Just
I
say
trust you.
yeah, just say I don't know.
yeah, I panicked. Whoa. Ah.
It's all right.
Just-
We'll just show up in there.
Just say
Have a good
ogre raid,
time.
OGR raid.
That's it.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Boom.
Take it easy,
Later,
guys.
you legends.
Bye-bye.
See you in there.
Peace out. Love yous.
Bye-bye.